At the conservative CPAC conference this weekend, an eruption of lies about the insurrection, making it sound like a bedtime story rather than an event that injured law enforcement and shook the foundations of democracy. Literally, lies. Repeated, aggressive, intentional, dangerous lies. CNN's Marshall Cohen, who reads through court documents involving every suspect in the Capitol attack, pointed out 12 lies that the former president told in his Fox News interview on Sunday, all, of course, enabled by the host. Here's lie number one.
They asked me if I'd speak, and I did, and it was a very mild-mannered speech.
A speech to push his election lie, which he teased and promoted, which was anything but mild.
We fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
And then lie number two.
They just came out with a report in Congress, and they didn't mention my name, literally.
Wrong. The report references tweets and other statements from the then president, including the entire transcript of his speech from that day. Plus, Senate Republicans voted against an independent investigation into the insurrection and its origins. Lie number three.
The reason, in my opinion, you had over 1 million people there, which the press doesn't like to report at all, because it shows too much activity, too much spirit and faith and love. There was such love at that rally. You had over 1 million people there.
That one is a whopper. A final count is hard to come by, but organizers permitted the event for about 30,000, which is far fewer than 1,970,000 fewer to be sure. And lie number four.
They were peaceful people. These were great people. The crowd was unbelievable.
Peaceful except for all of the violence, the blood, the assaults, the beatings, and the destruction.
Yeah, that is just not peaceful, not even close. All right, lie number five involving Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
I had suggested to the Secretary of Defense, perhaps we should have 10,000 National Guardsmen standing by. And he reported that, as you know. We should have. And he was turned down. I said, it's subject to Congress. You know, they run it. Nancy Pelosi runs it.
So she does not control the D.C. National Guard. That would be the President and the Secretary of Defense. Lie number six.
There were no guns whatsoever, and yet they have people still in jail. There were no guns. There were no guns.
There were guns, along with other weapons from bear spray to baseball bats to tasers. And it's impossible to know how many rioters were armed since most were allowed to walk away from the scene unchecked and unsearched. Lie number seven.
By the way, while you're at it, who shot Ashley Babbitt? Why are they keeping that secret? Who was the person that shot an innocent, wonderful, incredible woman?
Again, Marshall Cohen, who pours through all these court documents, that notes, while tragic, Ashley Babbitt was committing a crime when she was killed. Trump is also using her death to promote baseless conspiracies about it, even insinuating that Democrats are responsible. Lie number eight.
Who was the person that shot an innocent, wonderful, incredible woman, a military woman, right in the head, and there's no repercussions?
Just to be clear here, Babbitt was shot in the left shoulder. She was not shot in the head. Lie number nine.
You have people with no guns that walk down, and frankly, the doors were open.
Now, frankly, a lot of doors and even some windows were forced open after a stream of violent insurrectionists battled police officers.
And speaking of, lie number 10.
there was also a love fest between the police, the Capitol Police, and the people that walked down to the Capitol.
So this is the love fest of which he is speaking. Lie number 11 involves the evidence that we are seeing.
They have hundreds of hours of tape, and they're not releasing the tape. They ought to release the tape to see what really happened.
So first of all, the tapes are hardly an exoneration of his supporters. In fact, they're at the center of the cases against them. Also, a major reason we're seeing the tapes slowly but surely is because CNN and the rest of the media are demanding it from the courts. And finally, lie number 12.
They have people who walk with no guns, with no nothing. They're currently incarcerated, and there's large numbers of them, and it's not right. And they're military people, and they're police officers, and they're construction workers, and they're tremendous, in many cases, tremendous people. Tremendous people.
Now, regardless of what their occupations are, hundreds of suspects are free. The ones who are not are charged with violent crimes. And one of the central reasons that some of them remain behind bars is because judges point to Trump's continued lies and rhetoric for why they are dangers to society.